Hello, everyone. This is Bill Apter down here in a chilly Apter's Alley. Part two of my side of the dark side regarding Herb Abrams. So, on my last segment regarding this, I talked about the first time I met Herb Abrams, that I was doing a photo session with superstar Billy Graham in Times Square in New York City. And Graham got up on a garbage can, took his shirt off, posed, and then when he came down on 43rd and Broadway and put his jacket back on, the crowd was swarming him. He was signing autographs and all that. And in the crowd, when that crowd was dispersing and we were trying to walk down to Madison Square Garden along 7th Avenue, this one guy tapped me on the back. I mentioned this yesterday. He said, "Excuse me, Mr. Apter, I know you from the magazines. My name's Herb Abrams." And he started talking, and Graham and I invited him to walk down toward the garden with us. Well, I was able to come up with a photo to corroborate, not that I didn't think you'd believe me, but to corroborate exactly Herb Abrams in that particular moment. So if you look at this photo, you'll see Billy Graham signing, superstar Billy Graham signing some lady's arm or cast. If you look at the extreme right-hand corner, there's a guy with bushy hair. You can see the sides of his glasses and like a brown leather jacket. It's him. It's Herb Abrams. And that was his first contact with professional wrestling. There's another story I didn't tell you. Back when he was running at the Statler Hilton or the Penta Hotel in New York City across from the Garden, I went to one of his shows and I went up the escalator. I was going into the dressing room. This is probably in the afternoon. And all the wrestlers would do there about 3 or 3:30. And one of his guys came out and says, "You can't go in the dressing room." I said, "It's a surprise. I can get into dressing rooms and WWF, NWA, WC, whatever was around at that point." So he said, "No, Herb said if I see you to tell you, you can take pictures at the show, but you can't come in the dressing rooms." I said, "Well, why not?" He said, "Well, that's what Herb said." So I looked around for a bunch of wrestlers and like Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and I said, "They won't let me in the dressing rooms." Mick Foley, they won't let me in the dressing room. Herb said, so one of the guys came out, and I don't remember who it was, and he said, and this may have been part of the paranoia that the dark side showed of Herb Abrams. He says, "Herb knows that you talked to Vince McMahon Jr., VKM, not senior, but junior, or senior back then, whenever it was. And he wants to make sure that you don't say anything about what you see here in the dressing rooms and everything. So you can't have dressing room access." So I said, "Okay, listen, I'm not someone who is going to break chops. I'm here to cover the show, do interviews. If you guys want publicity, I need dressing room access. Please tell Herb that if I can't get into the dressing room to do interviews or whatever, that I'm going home. I'm not going to cover the show." And I wasn't acting like a spoiled brat reporter, all that. I just felt at that point I had been in the business long enough and been respected by the people in the business to not have that door shoved in my face by a startup company who, to me, it was foolish that he was doing that. So I walked around, talked to a bunch of the wrestlers in the outside the dressing room area, and the guy with her came out and he said, "Maybe next show, but we can't do it this time." So I left. Yeah, I left. I stayed for the very beginning of the show just to see the kickoff. Didn't go around the ring for that time, and I left. So, and again, I don't remember exactly which show of his that was in New York at the Statler Hilton at Penta Hotel, but I do remember that incident. He called me a couple of days later, um, and he said it must have been a miscommunication or something. Please come and cover our shows. It's fine, and of course you can talk to the guys. So that's it. My side of the dark side, Herb Abrams, part two, and that's an amazing photo, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. It was dug up from the archives, and for you to see. And that picture was run in, I guess, in I think, an Inside Wrestling magazine, where it was the cover of Superstar Graham on the cover, um, doing the muscle poses on the garbage can. Inside Wrestling, the magazine that blows the lid off pro wrestling. That's what it was. If you have a copy of that cover, I don't have a copy of it, send it and we'll run it on another one of these segments. The next time I come on here, um, I've got something interesting to talk about regarding, I'm upset about something that the man, Becky Lynch, did. And sometime this weekend, I'm going to get together with my buddy Mac Davis. He's, as you know, he does that show Promo Time and Road Trip, and we're going to talk about this. I want to see what he has to say, and then we're going to come at you probably sometime this weekend with why I'm upset with the man, Becky Lynch. And yeah, nothing to take away from what she does in the ring, but I'm upset about something. So, Bill Apter, I will take care of yourselves. Thank you, Apter Chatters, so very much for your support with everything I do. It means so much to me, and I'll see you at Apter's Alley, because none of us are going to the matches right now.